To another issue affecting you as Acting Education Minister, as you would well know, anger has been brewing in the university sector over the summer period, Stuart Robert, over your decision on Christmas Eve to veto 6 independently approved research projects. A lot of academics, a lot of researchers are very angry about this. They've written you describing your move as nothing short of political. Why did you veto those humanities research grants?
It's not the first time that ministers have vetoed grants, Michael. As you're aware, the legislation from Parliament requires the minister to cast their eye over it to ensure it's in the national interest and ensure its value for money. So I made the decision on 11 projects. Minister Birmingham had previously made the decision on 11 that they weren't value for money for the Australian people.
2 of those grants were allowing people to get a better understanding of modern China. Why is not that in our national interest?
When you go through those particular grants and what they were looking at, considering the vast research we do across China, these 2, in our view, didn't stack up. Likewise, the idea of looking at did climate have an impact on Elizabethan theatre 500 years ago. I'm sure it's important for Great Britain, but in terms of where Australia sits, there is better use of our resources than looking at that particular project. Therefore, 6 other projects were chosen.
Well, speaking of climate, another one of the grants you stymied was looking at student activism on climate and democracy, given young people are increasingly concerned about climate change. Why did you stop that one?
Young people are concerned, and we all are. That's why the government's made the decision, Michael, to go to net zero by 2050, and the government's leaning very heavily in the billions of dollars in terms of hydrogen. And again, that grant was looking at activism in terms of Western Sydney. Now, we understand the nature of people's concerns. We're seeing that on an almost daily basis, and it's good that our citizens are engaged and involved, and it's good the government is responding.
But the point is, and it's been made by august people like Brian Schmidt, who's the ANU Vice-Chancellor, Nobel Prize winner, of course, saying, pointing out that these grants have been independently approved, vetted, and once that's the case, once the rules have been followed, which they were in this case, all of these cases, politicians, ministers should keep their hands off.
Well, that's not Parliament's view, Michael. Parliament's view, because Parliament passed the legislation, said that the minister is to actually go through and have a look at it. Now, I'm sure all organisations...
Should you, I suppose, is the question.
I'm sure all organisations want their voice to be the last voice. That's not how our democracy works.
OK, appreciate your time. Acting Education Minister and Employment Minister Stuart Robert, thanks for joining us.
Great to talk to you, Michael.